fans, welcome to the old 50 field at Falcon Park, and welcome to tonight's Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League matchup between the Batavia Muckdogs and your Auburn Doubledays. Ladies and gentlemen, student athletes of the Perfect Game CBL ask fans to support the goals of good sportsmanship. Please help them to maintain a positive, competitive atmosphere as they strive to reach their potential as athletes. Courtesy to officials, coaches, and competitors is expected. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, taunting, and intimidating actions are expressions of poor sportsmanship and are grounds for removal from this venue. We appreciate and thank you for your support and encouragement. Be loud, be proud, and be positive. At this time, we ask all who are able to please stand and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Hey fans, the Doubledays Booster Club would like to recognize Jack Conley for being selected as the PGCBL Pitcher of the Week. The Booster Club is proud to present Jack with a gift card as well as other items in honor of his achievement. On behalf of all of Booster Club members, we say congratulations to Jack. Fans, the Doubledays mission is to welcome and support our players on and off the field so that their stay in Auburn is truly memorable. We do this while providing unique benefits and opportunities to our members as well. The 50-50 raffle is our main source of fundraising, and we thank you for your continued support. Money raised through the 50-50 raffle goes right back to the players by way of amenities and expenses they incur while delighting us with their talents here at Falcon Park. The Booster Club is always looking for new members to stop by our table during any home game for more information. You can also find information at the table about upcoming trips as well as other events. And if you direct your attention to the third base coaching box, Ryan has a couple of big Doubledays fans with him. Who do you have with you today, Ryan?
With me, I got with me Travis and Colby. You guys excited? Well, Travis and Colby, the Doubledays right now are on the field and they're pumping up. So that means it's time to play ball.
Ball clubs, as here we are in game 2 of our 4-game series between the Batavia Muckdogs, as the Doubledays have just taken the field. Will be the left fielder Matt DiStefano batting 8th. Will be the first baseman Sean Ladd batting 9th. Will be the catcher Bryce Mortellaro, and batting 10th, rounding off the order, will be the shortstop Noah Sorsen. And now on the Doubledays, well, let's take a look at how they'll line up behind Cooper Polokovic here in his second start. Going from left to right, out left field, Christian Bauman in center. A.J. Wenrich is out in right field. James Mason over at third base. Harrison Campy over at short. Carson Gross will be at second base in game 2. Hal Walker Jr. will be over at first base. Over at third, James Mason. And then doing the catching, Benji Reese will be behind the mound, catching for young Cooper Polokovitz. Well, as we're set here in game number 2, as Cooper earned Pitcher of the Year in the SAC Conference for high school. So congratulations to Cooper, as the first pitch fastball misses up and away for ball 1, and we are underway here in game number 4 of our quick 4-game series. A couple of doubleheader action as a fly ball sound on the right field line, slicing away and into the bullpen for Rashad Robinson. Count will go to a ball and a strike apiece. Healthy crowd on hand here inside Falcon Park, as game 2 will end in a firework night. That'll be after the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to lead off the top of the first inning. Doubledays in their home whites, just like they were in game 1, with Batavia staying with their road reds with the gray bottoms. Robinson back up in the box, a little bend at the knees. Polkovich set at the mound, the pitch on the way, fastball running right down Main Street for strike 3. Strikeout number 1 on the evening for the young left-hander, and there's 1 away here in the top half of the first inning, and that will bring up Lucas Lopez. Lopez did not get the start in game 1. Was able to drive in the ultimate decider in yesterday's game 2 contest, as the first pitch is in there for a called first strike. The 0-1. Swing, line drive, and just past the outstretched glove of Jay Mason. It rolls into the corner. Bryce Moore picks it up, fires into second base, tag applied, and it is in time to get Lucas Lopez trying for extra bases. Bryce Moore, getting his first start in left field this summer, delivers a dart on target, and there are 2 away here in the first inning. So a single cut down on the base pass, as that will bring up Anthony Colbro, the center fielder. And the first pitch is popped up in the air to right field. A.J. Wenrich has this one covered, and he puts it away to retire the side. Batavia gets 1 hit, and he is thrown out on the base pass trying to extend. We now go to the bottom half of the first inning. We'll bring you the Doubledays lineup next here on the Doubledays Sports Network. Back here at Falcon Park, here in the bottom half of the first inning. Both teams looking at zeros as the Doubledays getting ready to get their second game underway on offense, and they got to face against the left-hander, Preston Prince, out of Hilton, New York. Goes to Niagara University. In 2 games for the Muckdogs this year, 0-0 on the summer, has gone 2 games, started 2 of those. He's only thrown 6 2/3 innings, struck out 9, walked 3, given up 7 hits. has a 9.44 ERA, has given up 6 runs. They were all earned against Elmira, and in his second start versus Geneva, 1 run, or 2 runs rather, and it was earned. As here comes Harrison Campy to lead things off for the Doubledays here in the bottom half of the first inning here in game 2. As a big, wow, gigantic hole up the middle as Noah Sorson playing deep into the 6 hole, leaving the open wide open for Harrison Campy as the first pitch is taken off the outer edge for ball 1, 1-0. Matt DiStefano, Anthony Calabro, Rashad Robinson out in the outfield as the 1-0 catches the inner half for a called strike, 1-1. Giuseppe Arcuri at third, Noah Sorson at short, Lucas Lopez at second, Sean Ladd over at first, and Bryce Mortellaro behind the plate doing the catching. 1-1 pitch on the way to Campy, sent off the end of the bat over to second for Lopez. He has it, sets his feet, and just gets Campy by a step over at first. 1 away for the Doubledays, and that will bring up Carson Gross. Gross will be switch hitting, batting from the right-hand side. Facing Prince, the left-hander. Only a couple of times we've seen Gross flip it over to the right-hand side. Hasn't seen a couple of left-handers. As again, Sorson really giving the Doubledays up the middle as the first pitch to Gross is a fastball that tails off the outer edge for ball 1, 1-0. 7:25 here on hand as the wind's starting to blow in from the left field wall. The flag's blowing right at us into the booth as a 1-0 is fouled right back to the overhang over us, so it gives us a little bang of noise. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Doubledays were able to scratch 1 run across here. In last game, they took a 3-1 loss as a ball is sent foul over our heads. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Carson Gross. Base hit his last game. Was able to steal second and third, giving him 2 on the year. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Gross, taken off the outer edge on a fastball that runs a little bit of late arm side movement. We're going to see that a lot from the left-handers here, especially with Prince working from the third base side of the rubber. From the windup, Gross waving his bat back and forth. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a foul. Back over our heads, out beyond into the grass hills behind the first base dugout. And so we will try this at 1-2. Have to hand it to Doubledays hitters so far today. Haven't been going down quietly. I've been putting up a battle every single at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mortellaro setting up in. The pitch on the way to Gross, swap to first base, taking away a single from Carson Gross. Put a star on that one, and there's 2 away. That will bring up A.J. Wenrich. Now looking for this guy to get going. Maybe against a left-hander, he can find that groove. Just been absolutely belting baseballs during batting practice. Doesn't want him to be pressing, though. Talking to Ben Julian about him. Says he's a great hitter, really strong. Just need him to find that relaxed state as the first pitch fastball misses off the outer edge for ball 1. If he doesn't press, if he stays within himself, he can be one of the best hitters on this ball club. We believe that as the 1-0 pitch on the way, fastball in the dirt for ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Just waiting for him to get going. Of the summer, but these 11 games have been really spread out as Wenrich sends a ball into deep right center field. Going back, Calabro, going back and calling off Rashad Robinson, who looked like he was cutting across. Takes away a hit from A.J. Wenrich. So a lot better result than the last couple of at-bats to retire the side. Doubledays go down in order, but put some loud contact on. We go to the top half of the second inning. Our score, the Muckdogs, 0, and the Doubledays, 0. picking things up here in the top half of the second inning as Cooper Polokovich sends a first pitch breaking ball in for a called strike on Adam Agretsky. 0-1 on the Batavia designated hitter. Both ball clubs going down quietly here early on as a high fly ball sent out to deepish left center field. Going in on it is Bryce Moore and Christian Bauman, and they have a little confusion on who wants the baseball. It looked like Moore was going back, and then the winds just started to blow that baseball back in. And it falls in for a leadoff double. Adam Agreski on. And that will bring up Giuseppe Arcuri. Arcuri batting in the 5 spot today, playing third base. Had a great diving stop to take away a base hit down the third base line. The 1-0 catches the inside as with swinging strike. Well, Curry in the last game went 0 for 3, lined out to the third baseman, popped out twice to the second baseman as the fastball misses the outer edge for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Bryce Moore starting to play deeper down that left field line, leaving that left center gap open. Bauman follows him a little bit by shading over to the left side. A.J. Wenrich playing way in from right field as a high pop-up into left field. Bryce Moore coming in, running out of room towards the retaining wall. Makes the catch before crashing high fence, puts the squeeze on it. And there's one away with Giuseppe Arcuri fouling out. One away, that'll bring up Trey Bacon, the extra hitter. And Bacon was able to close out the ball game in game 1. Faced 2 batters, struck out Bobby Zhang, and then gave up a hit to Garrett Prosper as a swinging ground ball over to third. Mason looks the runner back, sends a throw over to Hal Walker Jr., and there's 2 away now. Polokovich able to keep that runner at bay at second base, 2 outs after the double, and that will bring up the left fielder Matt DiStefano. Well, DiStefano got the start in game 2 of the doubleheader back in Batavia. Went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out in that one. Doubleday's left-hander comes set, takes a look. Breaking ball, first pitch is up and away for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Game 2 of our doubleheader before we'll have one single game tomorrow out in Newark as a fastball gets cut on and missed off the outer edge. Count will even up at a ball and a strike apiece. Looking at the schedule ahead, after the game 2 tonight, game in Newark, and then we're back here on June 19th against Cortland Crush for Duncan night as a fastball misses upstairs for ball 2, 2-1. A couple of games on the road, one in Geneva on Tuesday, June 20th, and then back in Newark again on Wednesday, June 21st. We won't be back here inside Falcon Park after that until Saturday, or rather Thursday, June 22nd, as a breaking ball misses in the dirt for ball 3, 3-1. There'll be 3 games in a row after that next week. Syracuse Salt Cats come to town from the New York NYCBL. Elmira will come in, and then a game against the Niagara Power. As a 3-1 pitch, missing off the inside corner in the dirt for ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Matt DiStefano, and that will bring up the first baseman, Sean Ladd. First and second, 2 away. Polokovich looking to get himself out of the jam. Just a little one here in the early going, but like we mentioned, these doubleheader games are only 7 innings, so it's more of a sprint to the finish line as the first pitch misses downstairs for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Commit to Potomac State out in West Virginia, one of the better junior college programs. Left-hander deals, a fastball's fouled back over our heads, out of play, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike. plenty of people on hand here for this Saturday night action. Game 2 of our doubleheader. If you're just joining us, the Doubledays dropped game 1 by a final score of 3-1. Ball gets a swing and a miss on Sean Ladd. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2. Picking things up here and getting the DHing job. Same exact one back in the first game as the first pitch, fastball, misses off the outer edge for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Garrett Prosper, 2 balls and no strikes. While Stanger looking to get his bat back up on the hit train. A couple of hitless ball games over the last couple of days. As the 2-0 pitch on the way, swing, ground ball up the middle. Good stop by Stortson. Long throw across the diamond, and it is in time to get Stang by half a step. Looked like that ball was headed right for the middle of the and into center field, but Noah Stortson was able to get it right off the shoelaces and send a strong throw across the diamond to cut down the hustling Stang. So 1 away, that will bring up the extra hitter in Jake Houts. Looking to get back in the rhythm here for Houts as first pitch swung on and missed. A violent cut. Comes up empty and it's 0-1. Houts out of Mansfield University. Takes a look here from Prince as a fastball catches the inner edge for a called strike 2. Houts has to battle back from 2 strikes. No hit so far in this one for the Doubledays, 2 for the Muckdogs. Prince ready, the left-hander deals the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, goes fishing in the dirt. As Bryce Mortolaro sends a throw on to first base, and he completes the strikeout. And 2 quick outs for Auburn here in the second inning, and that will bring up the catcher, Benji Reese. First strikeout of the ball game so far for Preston Prince. Coming into this one, striking out 9. His best so far this season was in a 2-4 loss to Geneva. Struck out 5, facing 15 batters in 4 innings. First pitch fastball runs arm side, went into the other batter's box for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Good bit of kids on hand here inside Falcon Park. You can see him running around looking for baseballs that send into the crowd as fastball missing down low for ball 2, 2-0. School should be ending soon for these kids, and we'll hopefully see them here at the ballpark for the rest of the summer. It's hitless in the game out in Batavia. Good, here's count at 2-0 the pitch. Fastball runs way up and away for ball 3, 3-0. All 3 of those happening in his 9-11 loss in Elmira. 3-0, fastball up and away for ball 4. So a quick 4-pitch walk to Reese. And he's aboard, and that will bring up Christian Bauman. Bauman was a tough little hitless stretch here in the last couple of games as well. Looking to him to get back on the hitting caboose. Mentioned in game one, as soon as he came back here from, just found a ball off his leg during an inter squad, had to take a couple of days before the bruising went down. Came out and just swatted a couple of bases clearing triples as the first pitch fastball catches the knees for a called strike on the outer part of the plate. Reese not a running threat over at first base, so he's got a very short lead, especially with the left-hander. Prince working from the third base side. Here's the 0-1. Slider gets away from the catcher Mortellaro. Moving up to second is Reese. The throw in, a little offline. And Benji Reese takes an extra base on the dirt ball. Ball and a strike now as the Doubledays have their first runner in scoring position tonight. Good RBI opportunity for Christian Baumann entering into this game. Driven in 7 runs so far. Last hit was a triple back in Newark. That was on Thursday. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and miss. He comes up empty going after a fastball low. Now is in a 1-2 hole. On the field, Bryce Moore has to collect it and send it back into the dugout. Baumann, the left-hander, getting his first look here at Preston Prince this summer. Coming set at the shoulder. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Good wipeout slider. Baumann able to keep those hands back. And he is able to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Benji Reese, the runner at second base. Noah Sorensen working out of his back pocket, evacuates back out. Wind starting to really pick up and blow in from the outfield. A little bit of a smoky haze out on the field as well. Here comes the 3-2 pitch on the way to Baumann. Swing, ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Reese getting the wave on from Julian. Up with the ball, Colabro. The throw to the plate is offline, and the Doubledays strike first here in the bottom half of the second inning. Christian Baumann with an RBI single, scoring Benji Reese from second. And that's a way to start off game 2. And I'll bring up Bryce Moore to extend the inning after battling back. Christian Baumann going down in a 1-2 hole is able to work the count full and send a shot right back up the middle. All starts off from the 2-out walk, and then the ball in the dirt, wild pitch, and have a lead. And a move over to first base. Back in standing is Baumann. He does have 2 stolen bases on the summer so far, so they're going to keep a close eye on him. Moore digs himself in, really standing up close to the box, right on the plate. Here's the 0-1 as Baumann back in again with another dive, as another throw from Prince. They're really keeping him close. Short lead, R. Curry puts it away, and the Doubledays are retired. But not after they strike first. They lead at 1-0 going into the third inning. Doubledays strike first in the bottom half of the second inning. Christian Bauman, RBI single, bringing in Benji Reese. Doubledays lead 1-0 as we get started here in the top half of the third inning. Bryce Mortellaro, the catcher, to lead things off against Cooper Polokovitz. As the first pitch, floater of a breaking ball misses off the outer edge at 72 for ball one, 1-0. Well, Mortellaro, sack bunt and then a hit into a inning-ending double play as he sends a ground ball up the middle to Polokovitz. Sends a throw over to first base, and there's one away. So a quick first out for the Doubledays. That'll bring Noah Sorensen, the shortstop, up. Mortellaro, that was back in game 2 of our doubleheader in Batavia. Doubledays' first time in a little over 21 innings have finally broken first on the scoreboard. They lead at 1-0 as a first pitch fastball sent foul out of play, 0-1. Ben Julian sending A.J. Wenrich well in from right field, playing pretty deep as a pitch is sent off into the air to left field. The wind knocking this one down as the start in left field in last game and has now moved over to right field for this one. Christian Bauman getting back, set in position. He'll be shading a little more to the pull side for Robinson as fly ball right to Bauman. Drifts over glove side and he makes the catch. And the Muckdogs are set down in order in the third. That's it for the top half of the third inning for the Muckdogs. We'll go to the bottom half. Our score, the Doubledays leading 1-0.
Coaching box. Very important activity/question.
So here we got Ryan and Canal to play a little game. All right, here you go, Ryan. Do you get married to me? She said yes! Thank you, guys!
Leading off for the Doubledays, first baseman, the Marine team, Cal Walker.
Picking things up here in the bottom half of the third inning. Doubledays up 1-0 as Hal Walker Jr. steps in to lead things off for Auburn. Walker batting in the 9 spot as a fastball misses off the outer edge for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. As time is called as Bryce Mortellaro going out to talk with his pitcher, Preston Prince. Looking like we have a little bit of action stirring up in the Batavia bullpen. Looks like a right-hander has started to stretch out a little bit. Beautiful day for baseball here in the North Finger Lakes. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit more as it's been on and off over the last couple of innings. As the first mound visit has been taken by the Muckdogs. And we're back to work here. Bottom 3, Doubledays up 1 on 1 hit as a fastball catches the heart of the plate for a called strike, 2-1. Walker has a hit so far this season as a check swing on, it looks like it was a changeup, gets him on 2-1 off speed, and now the count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good crowd still on hand here as a foul ball sent out to the first base side, out of play. And so we'll try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 9-10-1 due up. Hal Walker, James Mason, and then Harrison Campy at the top of the order for the Doubledays. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Prince. In the dirt and blocked. And the count runs full at 3-2. No action for the Doubledays in their bullpen. Our young left-hander starting to throw a lot more consistently now that he got his feet wet in the summer, as a foul ball sent over the first base dugout once again. Walker really doing a good job of battling. Charge crowd here on hand. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Walker Jr., and it's taken off the outside corner for ball 4. So a leadoff walk to the Doubledays first baseman, and that will bring up James Mason.
The third baseman, number 9, Robert Mason.
James out of Clarkson University. Lives about 45 minutes away from here, talking about his commute after the game, after the long bus ride back from Batavia, as the first pitch, fastball runs on the outer edge for a called strike. Both are in the Syracuse area. And just talking, chit-chatting after the bus ride. It's like, well, we had about an hour, 45-minute bus ride. Then we had another 45 minutes after that to get back. The 0-1 in the dirt, runs off the inner edge. Count evens up at 1-1. And most of the players here in the area staying really locally, just a couple of minutes away from the ballpark. And one of the nicer things about Auburn, everything is 5 minutes away from each other. Need to go to the grocery store? It's about 5 minutes. Need to get to the ballpark in time? That's about 5 minutes. There goes the runner. Swing, ground ball, hit and run. Disappears from Lopez, the second baseman. He had no idea where it was. Hal Walker Jr. into third with a slide. And a perfect hit and run by the Auburn offense. They have runners at the corners here with nobody out. It was a ground ball capped right off the end of the bat by James Mason. Hal Walker Jr., not really much of a steal threat. Got a pretty good jump on it off the end of the bat. And Lucas Lopez, the second baseman, couldn't find the baseball. It just was squibbing off into right center field. And now Harrison Campy has runners at the corners here with nobody out. Preston Prince back on the mound. On the rubber, the pitch. Swing. Pop-up. Shallow into the first baseman as Sean Lee walks his way over into foul territory. And Campy's retired. First pitch, 1 away, and that will bring up Carson Gross. We've seen some unorthodox actions here in the season so far, but that might be one of the most weirdest plays just a couple ago. Hit and run with Hal Walker Jr. in motion off the end of the bat. Mason sits at first. There he goes. First pitch upstairs. The buff throw to second. It hits in the legs of Hal Walker Jr. Takes a beating on a throw from Bryce Mortolaro, trying to backdoor Walker. Gets a handshake from Ben Julian. Pretends he's hurting with a little fake limp. James Mason takes second base, though, on the defensive indifference, and now the infield moves in for Batavia as Carson Gross has an opportunity to drive in a couple. Mason, a very aggressive runner over at second base, has a big lead to work with, nobody around him. Preston Prince out of the windup as the 1-0 taken outside for ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Gross only a couple of RBIs so far on the young summer. Has 2 waiting for him right now. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a foul ball right over our heads, heading off to the concession stands down below. Well, entering into game 1, Carson Gross batting .235, 4 hits, 2 RBIs, a .333 on base. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swing. High fly ball into left field. DeStefano ranges back and he puts it away. Here comes Hal Walker Jr. in to score. Second run touches home plate. A great team at bat by Carson Gross. And the Doubledays have a 2-0 lead here in the third inning. Two-away runner at second base, and that will bring up A.J. Wenrich. Hit a high fly ball to right center field his last time up. Was tracked down by the center fielder, Colabro. Exactly what Ben Julian was wanting. More team at-bats here as the first pitch breaking ball catches the inside corner for a called strike on Wenrich, 0-1. Well, he was talking about it earlier back in Newark. The good changeup has Wenrich on his front foot, and the count goes to 0-2. Same thing actually back in Batavia. Was struggle to get some team at-bats because they were looking for just something to get going. Now today, now that they have a little more traffic on the bases early, more team at-bats are a little more accessible as the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a foul. Wenrich just lucky to get the very seam of the baseball, squirting it foul. And let's try it again at 0-2. One run already in here with another runner at second base in James Mason. Got a board on the hit and run and then moved up to second. Trying to draw a throw from the catcher, Mortellaro. Here on the way to Wenrich. Swing, he gulps that one down the right field line to the entertainment tent. And so we'll try it again at 0-2. Two runs in for the Doubledays so far. On two, Prince looks in, gets his sign. He comes set. Standing tall, Wenrich in the box ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss out in front of an off-speed to retire the side. But the Doubledays get another one on the board. The eighth inning, 2-0.
All right, and then third inning. Right, our base runners ready.
Are you guys ready? We're going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Burning Lucas Lopez down the left field line, well out of play into the players' parking lot. So kids will go get a chase for that baseball, but I think they won't be successful on that one. No balls and a strike to Lopez. Leadoff single his first time up, and Polokovich able to field his position. A little bit of a high throw, but a good reach by Hal Walker Jr. Puts it away, and there's one away. I'll bring up Anthony Colabro, a center fielder. Out to the right fielder, Wenrich, his first time up. Happy crowd on hand now in game 2 with the Doubledays early lead as a first pitch swinging, sent foul, good slider. No balls and a strike. Auburn entering into this ball game 4-6 on the season so far. Batavia 7-4. Swing, ground ball right back to the pitcher. Polkovic again sends a throw off to first base, and the pitcher fielding practice is starting to go well, and there's 2 away now. I'll bring up the designated hitter, Adam Agresti.
Elevating the designated
leadoff double back in the second inning, and it wasn't exactly a traditional double. He sent a high towering pop-up to left field. Bryce Moore, the left fielder, thought it was going to go back, and then the wind started to blow in and knocked the baseball down. Christian Bauman tried to help recover the effort, but it still fell in. And Gressi was aboard at first base as a high fly ball deep to left field. Bryce Moore running out of room, and this ball making the catch at the wall. Running out of room deep, Bryce Moore taking away extra bases down the left field line. And Adam Agreski and the Muckdogs are retired. That ball was looking like it was going to bang off the top of the wall. Instead, it is an out number 3. We go down to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Our score, the Muckdogs 0 and the Doubledays 2. Picking things up here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and I'm not too much of a fan of these white advertisement boards down the lines, as couldn't see the baseball come down, but Bryce Moore, right as his belt was against the wall, reaches up and makes a tremendous catch, robbing Adam Agreski of extra base hits. As we pick things up here, Bobby Stang, Jake Houts, and Benji Reese. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Auburn as the big right-hander digs himself in, facing Prince for a second time. 0 for 1, ground out to the shortstop his first time up, as the first pitch at the bottom of the 4th is a line drive off the end of the bat on a couple of hops to Lucas Lopez, the second baseman, and the throw to first is in time, 1 away. Well, that'll bring up Jake Houts, the designated hitter. Strikeout victim his first time up. Looking to get off the snide, had 2 hits back in the opening day victory in Geneva, but hasn't been able to find that success since then. Bend at the knees. Here's the first pitch, a fastball running above the eyes for a called ball, 1-0. Houts comes in here as a two-way pitcher and a hitter, but he's only had 1 outing on the mound. He actually got a win in that outing, as fastball sent foul out of play off the screen. Count evens up at 1. Doubledays lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning in the sprint to the 7th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Taken at the knees on the inner half for a called strike, 2. Houts having to battle back here once again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way. Lays off the changeup, which got him last time. And the count will even up at 2-2. Prince looks in. Here comes the wind. Kicks and deals. Fastball runs off the outer edge for ball 3, and Houts has a 3-2 count with 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Benji Reese, the catcher, due up next. Wide open hole with Noah Sorsen playing up the middle. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way, swinging a foul out into the crowd. 8:08 local time here inside Auburn. Hope you're enjoying the ball game or just your Saturday in general, wherever you're at, whether it be Florida, Arizona, Washington. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Houts, taken outside for ball 4. So a 1-out walk will bring up Benji Reese. He's looking for his first official at-bat. He walked and then later scored back in the 2nd inning. So some pretty good speed aboard at first base. As that'll bring up Reese. Once again, that outfield and Colabro and Robinson really shading in on the Doubledays hitters. Houts gets his lead at first as a fastball misses upstairs for ball one, 1 ball and no strike to the Doubledays backstop. We had a little bit of a weather delay out in Omaha between Stanford and Wake Forest. Looking to see the result of that as a high fly ball down the left field line, and that heads into the crowd. As there'll be a chase for another souvenir. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Houts the runner at first base. Sun starting to fully go down behind the third base dugout as we're just approaching the middle part of the summer. As a check swing, throw back to first base. Houts under the tag. Snap throw quick coming from Bryce Mortellaro. Good quick swipe from Sean Ladd, but it didn't look like he even made contact. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Prince with a pause. Big leg kick as the 1-2 pitch is golfed in the air out to left center field. Going back is Stefano. He is there to make the catch as the wind was really knocking that ball down. And there are 2 away here in the 4th inning for the Doubledays. 2 away, that'll bring up Christian Bauman. RBI single his first time up, scoring Reese from second. Looking to redo what he did back in the 2nd inning. Houts with a short lead over there at first base as a throw comes in. Not really a competitive pick over as Houts is back in standing easily. Post-game fireworks here on tap after the conclusion of this one. Big gaps out in left center and right center field as a swing and a miss on a changeup. Bauman way out in front. No balls and a strike to the Doubledays center fielder. Houts ready to run over at first base. Bauman, the left-hander, set. Another throw in from Prince. And once again, back standing easily is Houts over at first base. Well, Major League Baseball changed their pickoff rules to 2 disengagements, whether it's a pickoff or just a step off. You have to either get that guy out on the 3rd one or it's a free pass on a balk as breaking ball catches the inner edge for a called strike 2 on Bauman. Plenty of rules start to come into play here. Start at the middle innings, or start at the middle levels in the independent leagues. Transferred over to minor league baseball, and then the major leagues just adopted a couple of those tested rules as a slider gets Bauman swinging out front. So Preston Prince is able to work out of the walk and jam to retire the side. Doubledays still lead at 2-0 as we go to the 5th inning. We'll be right back here on the Doubledays Sports Network. And welcome back to Falcon Park as the Doubledays currently have a 2-0 lead over the Batavia Muckdogs. Middle part of the order, Giuseppe R. Curry, Trey Bacon, and Matt DiStefano. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Batavia here against Cooper Polokovic. Looking to continue some hot throwing on the mound as the first pitch, breaking ball, misses off the plate away for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Plenty of fans here having a little bit of something to cheer about over the last couple of innings. As a broken bat floater into left center field drops in for a base hit, as they're going to try to run right in the face of Bauman, slamming on the brakes. Our Curry heads back to the first base bag, and now speed is aboard for Batavia here to lead off the fifth. As looks like we have a right-hander possibly for the Doubledays start to do some stretching and warming up in the Doubledays bullpen. And a right-hander has gotten up to throw in Batavia's. Our Curry healthy lead at first as a square round bunt dropped down by Trey Bacon. And it's sent foul down the first baseline. No balls and a strike to Bacon. Grounded out to third his first time up. Back in the second inning. Both these ball games only going to the seventh inning. Just a quick sprint here to get ready on these doubleheaders as a throw over back in standing is our Curry. Couple dancing leads. Slide steps to the mound. Good off-speed pitch at 77. Gets him out front, and now the count rolls to no balls and 2 strikes. Doubledays looking for a nice little ground ball to the middle infielders. Our Curry dancing off the bag at first base. The pitch on the way upstairs, a modified pitch out. Reese pretty much catching that in a stand. And so we'll try it at now 1 and 2. Doubledays was able to have a nice double play back in game 1. Actually had 2. First one was a line drive right to Carson Gross. He was able to step on the third base bag and get a runner over at third, and then a traditional 5-4-3. As a fastball misses up and away for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Our Curry just a short little lead and then starts to extend. Polokovic back on the mound. Looks over at the runner. The pitch on the way, swing and a foul right back to the screen. And so we'll try it again at 2 and 2. Well, we haven't seen that A move from Polokovic yet so far this year. Our Curry really causing a little commotion at first base. Long pause in the standstill from Polokovic, sending a toss over to first base. A little deceptive move there on that one, and there's still 2 and 2 to the hitter on Bacon. Our Curry really dancing. Pitch on the way, swing, pop up on the infield. Reese is going to give a look at it, but it's going over, and a nice little thud as it hits off the top of the roof. And so we'll try it again at 2 and 2. Well, it spooks a couple of people down below us. Not used to the foul ball making that much noise. Our Curry healthy lead at first base. Really in a sprinter start. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the game for Cooper Polokovic. Plenty of family in the crowd tonight, and there's one away. And that will bring a Matt DiStefano. Stefano walked his last time up. Now that Doubledays ground ball really would be nice as a first pitch fastball runs off the inner edge for ball 1, 1-0. Top of the fifth, Doubledays up 2. Slide steps quickly to the mound as a fastball runs off the outer edge for ball 2, 2-0. Exactly what we thought. A right-hander has started to get loose out in the Doubledays bullpen. Our Curry really causing some commotion at first base. Walker holding him on. Pitch to the plate is down low for ball 3, 3-0. Polokovic was in the driver's seat early on. Now has to battle back down 3-0. Our Curry really working off that first base bag. 3-0. Taken right down Main Street for a called strike at 3-1. Final game of a quick 4-game stint here against Batavia. 3-1 on the inner edge, taken for a called strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Our Curry, the runner at first base, dancing. Polokovic set. Couple of looks. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on and fouled right back to the screen. So we'll try it again at full. Bryce Moore hugging the left field line. Christian Baumann starting to deepen up a little more and shading that left center field gap towards the 413. AJ Wenrich pretty much giving the right center field gap up. Here comes the 3-2 pitch on the way. Pop up down the right field line. Wenrich moving over towards the line, right where he was placed. It puts the squeeze on it. And there are quickly 2 away after the walk, or rather after the single by our Curry. And that will bring up Sean Ladd, the first baseman. Ladd grounded out to James Mason his last time up. Cooper would love to have another one here. Comes set the ear. First pitch on the ground over the short. Harrison Campy's got it. Sends a nice little charity flip over to Carson Gross, covering the second base bag. And that will retire the side. Batavia gets one hit, but leaves that runner stranded. We go now to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Doubledays up 2-0.
For a grand prize of $203, the winning ticket number is 723647. Please come down behind the third base dugout to see Heather for your prize.
So we're picking things up here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Doubledays up 2-0. And, well, I just need to mention this because the amount of luck that has to happen to go into this night is just incredible. So this one fan, he's at the ballpark tonight, and for the game, he let us know that it was his girlfriend's birthday. So we took a baseball down to the dugout, had the guys sign the baseball for her. It's her 33rd birthday, by the way. So that was a nice little thing in game 1 as Bryce Moore leads off for the Doubledays here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. First pitch fastball runs off the outer edge for ball 1. This whole thing gets better, so we'll continue on. Game 1 ends, and here we are in the middle of game 2 as a fastball is fouled right back above our heads out of play. And the count evens up at 1-1. So to his girlfriend's surprise, it's her 33rd birthday. She gets the signed baseball, a signed schedule. They get brought down to the field. He proposes. She says yes, so congratulations to our happily engaged folks right down below us from the booth as a fastball misses out for ball 2, 2-1. And then here we are in the middle innings of the bottom, going into the bottom of the 5th inning as the 2-1 pitch to Moore is taken in the dirt for ball 3, 3-1. Here in Auburn and most places, they do a 50-50 raffle, and it's a Saturday night, firework night, so there's a lot of people here in attendance, so there's a lot of money going in the pot. I kid you not, as a fastball runs up above the letters for ball 4, Bryce Moore heads to first base. He wins the 50-50 lottery, and right now him and his fiance are showing off their cash earnings. Just what a Saturday evening for those two. 33rd birthday. Gets a couple of signed presents from the Doubledays as Joey Martinez is out to the mound to go get his left-hander. 33rd birthday, day at the ballpark. Just got engaged. Congratulations to them. And now they're walking home with about, I don't know, maybe $200-300 in their pocket. What a great Saturday for those folks. As we'll have a pitching change. We'll be right back here on the Doubleday Sports Network. And we're picking up here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. We have a pitching change as Ryan Kinney now takes over in relief. The right-hander will face off against Hal Walker Jr. as that closes the book on Preston Prince. He's responsible for Bryce Moore over at first base. As Walker Jr. steps in, and the first pitch he sees is fouled right back to the screen for a swinging strike one. Just wow, what an incredible night. Magical night. Get a ring, get some money, get a signed baseball and a schedule. That's a great Saturday night as the pickoff move gets away from the first baseman, Sean Ladd. Moving up into second base, Bryce Moore, as Ryan Kinney throws the baseball away. And the Doubledays have a runner in scoring position here with nobody out. And Hal Walker Jr. has a chance to drive in a run. So that error moves up more to second base. First error of the ball game for the Muckdogs. So Hal Walker Jr. with a golden spot here to move the runner up 90 feet or drive him in as the 0-1 fastball runs up above the eyes for ball one. 1 ball and one strike. It's just a great day for baseball as well. Not too cold, just a little chilly as temperature at the first pitch of the first game was just a tick under 73 as a swing and a miss from Walker comes up empty. Ball and 2 strikes now. As we're here, we're probably just getting around the upper 60s, hopefully somewhere around 67. Don't have a thermostat near us, but be a good idea to take a look at some point. A couple of sweatshirts have been put on by the crowd here sitting behind home plate as the 1-2 pitch is a fastball that runs off the outer edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Hal Walker Jr. Reached base with a walk back in the 3rd inning. Later then came around to score on the sacrifice fly by Carson Gross. Was able to advance all the way to 3rd on a crafty hit and run by the Doubledays offense. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Moore with his lead over at first base. Here's the pitch on the way, swing and a foul sent off to the crowd. And another race for the baseball goes. Ryan Kinney back up on the rubber, working from the first base side, leans into Mortellaro. gets his sign with a nod and a shake. He comes set. Bryson Moore at second base extends. Here's the 2-2 pitch and the dirt, but a good stop by Montalaro, saving a wild pitch. So now the count runs full at 3-2. Anxious crowd looking for some more excitement before the fireworks show above the sky. Good lead by Moore, working off the bag. Here's the 3-2 pitch again, and another foul ball sent over our heads. So Hal Walker Jr. giving these kids a sprinting lesson. And we'll try it again at a full count. Noah Sorensen really deep in that 6 hole, leaving the middle of the field wide open. Lucas Lopez holding the runner on and backs off. Wide open middle. The pitch on the way to Walker, and it's fouled down the right field line. As, ooh, look out, a kid almost just got drilled by a foul ball. Hopefully everyone's all right down the first base line. You got to keep your head on a swivel. The nets only go so high above the dugouts. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Hal Walker Jr. putting on a 2-strike swinging clinic. Good lead by Moore, really working off the bag. The pitch outside for ball 4, and a slam of the bat and a scream to the third base dugout. Hal Walker Jr. getting the ball club fired up. A slam of the ball down off the mound by Ryan Kinney. Frustrated to get Walker 0-2 and then lose him for ball 4, and that will bring up James Mason. Back-to-back walks for Batavia pitching. Mason with a good opportunity to see what he can do. Third baseman in R. Curry, 45-degree angle down the third baseline, getting an eye on both the hitter and the runner. Mason with the base hit his last time up on the crafty hit and run. Squares around a bunt. Pulls it back as a fastball catches the outside edge for a called strike. So we'll play on with the Batavia defense. Second baseman Lucas Lopez was on a dead sprint to first base. Sean Ladd playing in front of the runner in Walker Jr. R. Curry moves up just a little bit more. Creeping in, squaring around Mason. And a breaking ball misses inside. Both runners retreat back to their bags. Count evens up at 1. Small ball playing on action here. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Auburn looking to secure as many runs as possible after struggling to put some up in the last 21 innings or so. Pitch, fastball. Looked like it was a little up, but that one gets called strike 2 by Sean Courtesy. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Moore with the lead over at second. Hal Walker Jr. with the lead at first. Couple of looks. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Mason goes chasing on a ball in the dirt. Has a couple of words parting ways with the home plate umpire. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Harrison Campion. Now's a great time for the young kid to get back on a roll. One away for the Doubledays. Couple of runners on. Kinney, the pitcher, first pitch fastball, catches the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Campy's last RBI came against the Newark Pilots. Looking to get one here as Anthony Colabro, another really shallow center field, as the 0-1 pitch is running inside. Campy having to jump out of the way, gets jackknifed by a fastball. And so the count will even up at 1-1. Runners back to their bases. Now they get their leads once again. First baseman Ladd playing in front of Walker. The rest of the infield playing deep in their normal double play depth. Both runners working. The pitch on the way to Campy. A good breaking ball catches the outside corner for a called strike 2. Now Campy has to battle back. Moves up on the plate. Chokes up a little bit higher on his bat. Waves the barrel right in front of the plate as time is called, and a balk by the pitcher in Ryan Kinney. So everyone moves up 90 feet on a free pass. Looks like a little buckle of the knees is what moves the runners up 90 feet. And so it's almost like James Mason was able to lay down a sacrifice. Table is set here for Harrison Campy to work in a run. Infield gets drawn in for the Muckdogs. Kinney is set. Can't be set. Pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball out to right field. Rashad Robinson trailing back, reaches out and is able to make a miraculous catch in the corner. 1 run scores and more. Moving up to third is Hal Walker Jr. Harrison Campy had extra base hit, but just another inch or two. That ball gets down, but other than that, it is a sacrifice fly, another run in, and the Doubledays extend. It is 3-0. So it's good to see the offense back and rolling as here comes Carson Gross. As the first pitch to him is a fastball in the dirt, gets a little bit away from Mortellaro, but not far enough for Walker to advance. So that balk comes back to hurt Batavia pitching. See if Carson Gross is able to keep this inning extended and bring in another run. Fastball caught on the outer edge for a called strike, maybe just a hair on. 3 runs in for the Doubledays, 1 run in the second, 1 in the third, and then 1 here in the 5th inning. The 1-1, Gross swing and a miss on a slider in the dirt. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on the Doubledays second baseman. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Hal Walker Jr., the runner at third base. That middle still wide open with Sorsen playing deep in the 6 hole. Here's the 1-2, swing, ground ball to the second baseman Lopez. He has it, sends a low throw just in time to get Gross to retire the side. But the Doubledays strike again. They get 1 more here in the 5th. It's off to the 6th inning. Doubledays lead it 3-0. Back in action here in the top half of the 6th inning. Doubledays need just 6 more outs to get back in the win column. Cooper Polokovic is back on the mound for another one here. As A.J. Wenrich gained the toll to come on in, and sometimes right on cue, the baseball finds Wenrich moving in. Nice little hunch by Ben Julian out down by the Doubledays dugout. 1 pitch, 1 out has been a story of the ballgame so far. So Bryce Mortellaro flies out, and that will bring up Noah Sorsen, the shortstop. Barely had enough time to welcome you guys back to Falcon Park as the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses in the dirt inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, as we're just about to wrap up here on our 2-game homestand, Doubledays off to Newark for a special 6:05 start time. If you're able to make it there, go on and support the Doubledays on the road as a good fastball catches the outer edge for a called strike 1. Count evens up at 1. Back here at home on June 19th versus the Cortland Crush. It's going to be a big crowd on hand. We expect everyone to make their way to Falcon Park as a ground ball sent to the right side. Carson Gross has it, sends it over to Hal Walker Jr. and quickly 2 are away here in the 6th inning. Back to the top of the order, Rashad Robinson, 0 for 3, rather 0 for 2 in this one so far. Struck out to lead things off in the ballgame, and then a fly out to center his last time up as a called strike on the outer edge. Good breaking ball. Right-hander starting to loosen up for the Doubledays as a high fly ball out to center field. Bauman working in and then having to go back. And another fly out to center field for Robinson as Christian Bauman puts the squeeze on it to retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Muckdogs. Doubledays, possible last chance here in the bottom of the 6th inning to add some more. It is 3-0. Picking things up here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Doubledays up 3-0 as A.J. Winrich on the first pitch of the inning. Ground ball over to third and a throw on the run to Sean Ladd. And it looks like he just hangs on to the bag. There's one away here to begin the bottom half of the 6th inning. Doubledays, 3 runs so far in this one as Bobby Stang stands in with 1 away. Staying 0 for 2, rather, a couple of groundouts in this one. Runs scored started early for the Doubledays back in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Benji Reese with a 2-out walk. Advances to second base on a wild pitch as a first pitch. Fastball is in there for a called strike on 1. Christian Bauman was able to bring in Reese from second on an RBI single as the 0-1 is a fastball that misses off the plate away for ball 1, 1-1. Next run came in the 3rd inning. Hal Walker Jr. led off with a walk as Kinney steps off the rubber, resets. Hit and run, James Mason off the end of the bat, cued it past Lopez, who didn't know where the baseball was, as fastball taken in the dirt for ball 2, 2-1. Hal Walker Jr. was able to advance all the way around to third base and then was brought in by a Carson Gross sacrifice fly. And the last run came back in the last inning as a fastball missing down low for ball 3, 3-1 to Bobby Stang. Leadoff walk by Bryce Moore. Back-to-back walks. Hal Walker Jr. reached again on a walk. Came in on the Harrison Campy sacrifice fly. Here's a 3-1 pitch on the way to Stang as he takes a big swing and sends it foul out to the crowd down the first baseline. Count runs full, 3-2 on Stang. Remember, fireworks will light up the night sky here, or as dark as we can get it here as we keep rolling along, as a swing and a foul right back to the screen, staying able to stay alive. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Stang waves his bat back and forth before setting it up. A little open stance, really bent at the knees. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a cue shot off the end of the bat, but right to the first baseman, Sean Ladd. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Jake House. Getting the DH job tonight. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Reached on a walk back in the 4th inning. As a first pitch fastball misses the outside corner for ball 1, 1-0. Good to see the Doubledays offense back to work here this evening. 3 runs, currently shutting out the Muckdogs as Hout swings and fouls it right off the catcher Mortellaro. As the pitcher Kinney didn't know the throw was coming in from the home plate umpire. That ball rolls into center field, so we'll have just a slight little delay. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Hout's digging himself back into the box, looking to snap an 0 for streak. Little pause, here's the 1-1. Check swing on the inner half, doesn't go around, just keeps the bat as close to his shoulder as possible. It's 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to the Doubledays 5-hitter. Looking to see some of that power as Houtz calls time for stepping out. Well, Jake got himself a new pair of batting gloves just about a week ago or so and was hitting in the cages. This was before all this rain came in, getting ready for a game, and wouldn't you know it, just 3 swings into the cage later as he swings and a miss. Count evens up at 2-2. But about 3 or 4 swings into the cages, and his left batting glove just ripped right open. Sometimes faulty equipment is the cause. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Big breaking ball caught on the outside corner for strike 3. And that retires the side. Doubledays go down 1-2-3. Cooper Polokovich is back out for another inning of work. He looks to go the distance as we go now to the top of the 7th inning. Last 3 outs for Batavia here in Auburn. And here we are, top half of the 7th inning. And how about young Cooper Polokovich is back out on the mound looking to go the 7-inning distance and shut out the Batavia Muckdogs as a first pitch breaking ball misses in the dirt for ball 1. And the Doubledays do have a right-hander loose and ready in the bullpen just in case. As the 1-0 fastball sent on the ground over to Harrison Campy. Not where you'll want to hit it to lead off an inning. And a nice ground out to start the bottom half, or rather the top half of the 2nd. Lucas Lopez is retired, and now the Muckdogs are down to their final 2 outs. Doubledays looking to avoid the sweep. Unfortunately, Batavia does take the 3 wins in the series so far. As the pitch on the way, swing and a foul right back to the screen by Anthony Colabro. 0 for 2 in this one so far. Pop out to Wenrich out and right, and then a ground out back to the pitcher in the 4th inning. 3 hits so far for Batavia in this 7 innings as a foul right off the shoulder of Reese. And the count goes to 0-2. close games here in the final 3 stretches. 1-0 our final in Batavia in game 2. Game 3 ended in a 3-1 Batavia victory, with Doubledays putting the tying run on second base as a high fastball sent foul over the first base side into the crowd. And we'll try it again at 0-2. And then here we are in game 3. It's another tight one here. 3-0 our score. 2 away, or rather 1 away in the top half of the 7. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, ring him up on the inside corner. Colabro knew it, and he's taking a walk back to the Pine Pony. And that will bring up Adam Agresti to be the last hope for the Batavia Muckdogs. Third strikeout of the game for young Cooper Polkovich. And he is 1 out away from going the distance here in 7. Big win here, hopefully, to get this Doubledays team back on track, as a first pitch fastball runs off the outer edge for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Remember, stick around here because we have post-game fireworks just after that final third out, as a fastball catches the outer edge for a called strike 1. 1 and 1 on Agresti. Doubledays 1 out away. 1-1. Check swing taken upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Just a couple of days ago, the news broke that Cooper Polkovich won himself the Pitcher of the Year in the SAC High School Division. 2-1, sent in the air out to center field. Christian Bauman going in, but Carson Gross calling him off. He puts the catch on it, and the Doubledays secure a final 3-0 victory at home in front of a good crowd on firework night. The Doubledays do drop the series 3-1, but are able to secure a split and send this crowd home happy, with post-game fireworks coming up here on the post-game report. We'll be back here at Falcon Park on Monday, June 19th against the Cortland Crush for Duncan Night. We'll see you all there, and we'll see you here on the Doubledays Sports Network. Post-game fireworks coming up next. Stick around, and then after that, we'll give you the totals as the Doubledays walk away victorious 3-0.